Okay. Hey everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. And I see we're already 10 people here. Well, thanks. Glad to see this stream is going to be popular. So I want to say today I'm going to do something a little bit different. So this is something new to me, and it's a test, I would guess, for myself, but it's also a test for you. And what we will be doing is we will be typing each other's, and we will be trying to figure out each other's types, and we'll be walking through the typing process, how you can approach it, how you can think about it, what you can do. So I've already sent out a form, and so far I have one submission. What you can do is you can post your Facebook link, you can post link to a video of yourself if you have one, or you can post a picture of yourself if you have one. So if you have pictures of yourself, if you have a Facebook page of yourself, if you have a video of yourself, those are all ways that I can use to type you. I could probably also use audio, or I could use other information. The least reliable means for me to type other people I've found is text. The most difficult way for me to type others is to what they write. So if they write something that's really long, that can be very helpful because that can reveal their thought process and how they see things and what they feel about things. But a lot of the time I will ask like questions about your interests or your hobbies or your values. And if people answer in 2 to 3 words, it's very difficult to get an idea about how they really feel. We can talk about, yeah, I love to be out in nature, or yeah, I enjoy sports, or yeah, it's really nice to go out with friends. But often what I feel we're missing is depth. Depth is the most important part of typing another person, just deeply listening to what they're saying, just taking it all in, just processing it, giving them time to elaborate and expand on something, letting them just naturally drift through things, without worry of being interrupted, or without like feeling like, oh no, other people are gonna judge me, just that aspect of actually typing another person. Hey Frank, glad to have you here. It's been a while. Yes, long time. We should see each other sometime. It would be nice to catch up. So I got some pictures from one of the people in the community, Radian May, on Discord, if you know him. He sent me some picture of himself. And sometimes I can use pictures to type another person. What I look for in pictures then is really their facial expressions and how they act when they are happy, or when they are doing something, or when they're having fun. So it can be very hard to type a person when they're just posing for a picture and just giving that standard look, that you give on a quick family portrait. But if a person is actually living that out somehow, or expressing themselves, or talking about something, and suddenly poof, camera, that's a great picture for me. That can tell a lot about a person. What I look for then is just their eye contact. I look for their smile. I look for their facial expressions. I look for their forehead, the brows. I look for how they look. And I have some cues that I look for. Like, if, for example, Radian is an introvert, and often what you can see then is introverts tend to push up their cheek muscles, these parts of the face, and they don't tend to have a lot of activity in the brows or in the forehead. So that can cause the eyes to look like they're squinting. Of course, anybody can squint, and squinting doesn't mean you're introverted. But that aspect of putting up the cheeks can make you seem like you're thinking about something, or detaching from something. It can be like, huh. And that's how I feel a very introverted cue, and I feel Radian has that very clearly. Now, when people post answers and so on, I don't want to show that off on stream. I want to give everybody anonymity. So there's the option, if you want to say no, keep my information private. You can select if you want your videos or your pictures to be shown on stream. And if you do, well, then we can look at it. Otherwise, yeah, I'll just talk about it and try to explain what it is I'm looking for. There are other things, and that is, for example, a serious expression. Radiant has a very serious expression. And the serious expression, I feel, is often very TJ. That expression of just when you're looking at somebody, often when TJs look at somebody, they can often tense up their cheek muscles and their upper lips. And that can sound like they're really looking at what you're saying and evaluating it critically. They're thinking and judging about what you're saying. So what they're doing is they're trying to keep a serious and solemn expression when they look at you. So what is it you're saying? Does that fit with my framework, with how I see things? Um, how do you explain this logically? How do you rationalize this? Often what I feel is as a feeling and judging type, you can have a quite goofy or silly expression. And in your facial expressions appear quite natural. You know, the smile of a feeling judging type. I feel the smile is something that comes the easiest to a feeling and judging type. I feel feeling judging types have the easiest time just naturally smiling and just smiling at somebody, or showing emotion on camera, or displaying that they care about you, that they're interested, that they're relaxed, that they're carefree. Feeling and judging types try to lower your guard. So what we do is we try to get you to feel you can relax around us, that you can go easy on us, that you can take it easy, that you don't have to prove anything to us. A thinking type wants to have something to prove and measure and test. A feeling and judging type wants to have a social relationship or some kind of connection. So that connection creates a very different body language. Like for me, it's quite natural to think that body language is an additional enhancer of personality. Body language is part of our communication. It's not everything. I see some people out there that make body language everything about typing. To me, body language and personality psychology need to go hand in hand. So what you can do is you can look at a person's body language as an additional information to what a person is saying. For example, what I tell people, when a person is talking about something, do they seem to be happy, or do they seem to be enjoying it? When a person is engaging in intuition, do they seem to enjoy it and get energy from it? Or do they seem to be a little more drained by it and a little more distanced and a little more detached from it? So intuitives enter into a flow when they are talking about intuition or engaging in intuition in any way. That's what gets them energized. So it's giving them energy. It's giving them like inspiration. It's making them interested. So what I felt is, okay, now we're starting to get some answers in here. Let's see what we have here. We have William and we have Brandon. And both of them have agreed to share their Facebook profiles. So now we're gonna see if you can spot anything. Can you predict Brandon's personality type? See if I can get it up here for you. Here we go. So this is the information we can get about Brandon. Usually if you go to a person's Facebook page, you can see maybe some picture, maybe one picture. Here we have just one picture available to watch, and just like this standard cover photo. Creepy arrows going in different directions. Hey, actually kind of cool. Fluidity in motion, born naked, and the rest is drag. Rainbow child of Aquarius in search of balance. Okay. So that's a Judith Butler quote. Born naked and the rest is drag. Isn't it? Or do I misremember it? So what type do we think Brandon is? Often, what I feel is it's quite difficult to determine a person's personality type just by a picture. It's really difficult. It's really hard to know what to look for. And often I can't say everything. I can't say, oh, that person is an INTJ for sure. but I can often see something. I can usually get some impression of the person. But with Brandon, I will say it's very difficult. I'm actually not getting a lot from his expressions at all. The only thing I can say is I think he's a judging personality type. And perhaps one of the best signals of this is all facial expressions of judgers start in the middle of the face. You know, perceivers, they tend to have very like rounded facial expressions. When they start smiling, it's like it bubbles up around the shins and outside, and even in the eyes and outside of the eyes. Their facial expression comes around as a whole. But in the judger, the expression is a lot more straight, a lot more right on you, a lot more directing. So what I see then is all facial expressions start in the middle of the face and center in the middle of the face, around the upper lips, between the eyes. That's what gives them eye contact that is very direct and very on you. Now, you could say, yeah, anybody can look that way. Anybody can do that expression. And that's true to an extent. Still, what I can feel is people tend to choose a natural expression that feels easy and relaxing to them. It can be very hard if you try to force yourself to do it the other way around. People tend to fall into natural, common cues. They tend to naturally land on certain ways. So here I feel judger very strongly. If I would wager a guess, I would say INTJ or ENTJ. I would otherwise consider INFJ. The only thing I got very strongly was NJ. And here is where you see NJ. It's around between the eyes. It's in the middle part of the face. So that's Brandon. Let's see if we can get somebody else on here. We're really starting to get a bunch of people now. I also got William. What can we say about William? Thanks for agreeing to share, by the way, William. Here's William's Facebook page. Okay, funny guy. Works at Israel Defense Forces, lives in Ashdod. Joined in July 2018, single. It's crazy to think about what people can find about you on Facebook. You know, like imagine what your employer will see when they find your Facebook picture. This is what people will see. This is what your employer will look at when they look at your Facebook profile. This is the only picture available of William as well. So this is a very difficult picture to type a person based on. I could not say a lot here. The only thing I could say is possibly perceiving type. Possibly, if I would wager a guess, and this is only going to be a guess, I would say maybe INTP, maybe INFP, maybe ENTP. Those would be three options that I would consider for William. But it's really hard to say in these pictures because this is, of course, a very fake expression, like a very put on face, like in a situation. So it's not easy to tell. And you will want to, if you can, really look through a bunch of different pictures of a person, because otherwise, yeah, you might miss a lot of nuance. Yeah, you could argue ENFP as well, but no, I think I would probably guess INTP. So just for anybody who missed it, you can share your link here. Hey Gemma, thanks for joining. Do we have any other people? A reload. Here we have Andrea. Andrea Tercero, did I say that right? Thanks for agreeing to share. So this is the picture I can find on Andrea. She actually has multiple pictures in multiple environments. So this is a quite good profile. This one can actually tell you some things. And the first guess that would immediately come to my mind would have been what would your guesses be? I told you something about introverts before. I don't know if you can spot it for extroverts. Extroverts don't pull up their cheeks, and instead they have their cheeks muscles much more relaxed, and that makes their eye contact come off stronger. And that's also what they do is they activate more of the brow muscles when they look at you. And that gives them a more active gaze or a more studying gaze. It can look like they're actively analyzing and thinking about what you're saying, that they're paying strong attention to you, that they're concentrated, or that they're very open or curious. That's the signal you can get from extrovert intuitives, curiosity. That's what I always look for. Like, it's very hard to explain what you're seeing and to put words on it, and people might put different associations on different words, but the more people you look at, and the more you take a habit of sitting outside, studying people passing you by, just thinking about them, their lives, what they're doing, where they come from, what they're going through, if they seem happy or sad, the more you learn about people. And then if you can sit down with people and actually talk to them and ask them questions, that's how you become a good personality profiler. The best personality profiler in the world is a person that can sit down with a person and get them to talk and to pay attention and listen as they do. Can you get a person to reveal a lot about themselves? Can you get a person to feel seen? Then you are a good personality profiler. It doesn't matter if you're using the MBTI or Big Five or Enneagram or whatever you're using. Personality profiling is all about knowing a person's triggers, their interests, their hobbies, their motivations, their temperament, their attitude to life, being able to get all this information about a person. And what do you need all this information for? What's the point? Why do you want to know this? Because you want to know how to deal with people. Obviously, you want to know how to deal with people. If you know a person is primarily interested in philosophy, you might realize it's a bad idea to offer them a surprise trip to a football game. If you know they're not interested in these things, it's better to try to focus on and to connect with people based on their interests first. Okay, what do they like? What do they enjoy? Can I talk to them about that? Did I read something interesting about that lately? Like, that's what makes a person really connect and bond with others. Just being able to make a person feel, oh, this person cares about me. This person is interested or tries to take an interest in what I do. Like, it doesn't matter if they're sensing or intuitive types. Effort matters. If you can tell that a person is going out of their way to try to listen to you, that makes so much, to form a bond with a person. So what can we say here about Andrea? Sorry to just zoom out like this. I think Andrea is an ENFP, an ENTP, or an ENFJ. I get extroverted intuition very strongly. Those would be my 3 guesses that I work with. And if I would settle on something, it would be perceiving, most likely, because the expressions are very much around the entire face instead of just in the middle. It's also, there are also some things you can do to type feeling perceiving types versus thinking and perceiving types. And usually it's that ENTPs have stronger facial expressions and also more fluid facial expressions. So their facial expressions are a lot more clear and a lot less warm. There's a lot less warmth in the face, a lot more calmness to their expressions, a lot more there's a glassy lookingness to an ENTP, where to an ENFP it's a lot of emotion. It's authenticity is something I actually look for, just a natural sense of things, just natural facial expressions, relaxed facial expressions, but still strong emotional expressions. If you can see those two things together, then you might be dealing with an ENFP, and that's my guess. ENFP. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. Who knows? So we get some ESFJ guesses here. We got ENFP, we got INFP, ISFJ. So we get a few mixes there. But I can see a lot of people think extroverted and feeling. EXFX, yes. I think that's quite a good guess. You're more than welcome to share what you think. And in the end, it's your decision. You decide what type you are. You decide what your true identity is, what's interesting to you, what you value, what you care about. Everyone else, no matter how much of an expert they are, can only guess. Maybe they can make a good guess, but it doesn't matter if you don't see it yourself. So I would type Akansha, but sadly, your information, your Facebook profile link isn't working. I'll look at your picture you supplied just real quick. I won't show it to anybody else. Difficult one, I would guess INFP, but it's a very low quality picture. It's also gray and black and white, so it makes it harder. There's not a lot of facial expressions, but you don't have the INTP-ish, more detached expression. You do seem to have like the introverted feeling hanging lip. That's something I actually look for with IXFX types, the IXFX hanging lip. Just that we're thinking INTPs can look at you like this. INFPs often look with a hanging lip. And that hanging lip can signify sensitivity, openness to hear you out, and new attention to nuance. Like that, it can make you appear a little more emotional, not expressively emotional, but it can make you appear more open to feeling and to processing. It can make you look like you're processing something emotionally. I hope that is accurate. Feel free to let me know if I'm wrong, Akansha. Let's see what we have next. Rayan. Rayan is okay showing his Facebook profile with everybody. So Andrea tests as ENFP. That's great. That's nice that it worked for you. Okay, that hanging lip thing is hilarious if you think about it like that. Sorry. It sounds horrible. It's really not. So, what can we say about Rayan? Never let success get to your head and never let failure get to your heart, Drake. Rayan writes a blog spot. That's cool. Go out and do something. So, I'm sorry, but I can't make much of this profile. But let's look at this and see what we get. Okay, great. So thanks for sharing this with everybody. So what would you guess? Once again, I think perceiving type makes a lot of sense here. I also think extrovert makes a lot of sense, but I don't see a clear, strong extroverted tendency here. I also think extroverted feeling makes a lot of sense because their cheeks are quite relaxed and relaxed, expressive. And yeah, I think once again, I think I would possibly go ENFP here. I could be wrong, I could be right. What options would I go for? More likely INFP, if not ENFP. Otherwise, possibly ESFP. I feel like I get a very strong feeling and perceiving vibe here, but I don't get a strong intuitive vibe here. So who's next? Wow, we're getting a lot of people here. I don't know if we'll be here all night if I would go through everybody. Valentina Vasilkova. I'll do this for a little bit longer. So try to do as many as possible as quickly as possible. And if you want a deeper typing, what you can do is you can go to patreon.com/Erik Thor and you can submit a video of yourself that is a bit longer, and then I can make a little bit of a I'm back. Sorry, the stream crashed. So what I was saying was work with things openly. Paint a picture of a person in your head. Like make a first a rough outline, then notice the arm was too long, then redraw it, like draw it up like a map in your head of that person. And work very openly with it. And be open to change your read or to retype another person, especially early on. Uh, you can get a first guess, and then you can work with that, and then you can improve that and expand on that as you go. You can ask them to take an MBTI test. You can go through the results, how they answered. You can think about how they think. You can make a confidence rating, so you can say, yeah, definitely extroverted, and I'm very confident about that, but I'm not confident about intuition or sensing yet. Then ask yourself, what can I do to become more confident about that? What do I need to look at? What do I need to think about? So we have another person here, Valentina, and I'm gonna show. I'm back. Don't worry, guys, I'm back. I'm gonna show Valentina Vasilikova. Valentina Arietta. First picture is with sunglasses. That makes it difficult. Here we got the good one. So Valentina is a wizard. So here I can get some guesses, some ideas. First, I would still think perceiving type here. But I know in this picture it's a lot less clear. I would also think introverted here. But I also find that to be quite unclear. The only thing I can say very strongly is intuitive. And how do I tell intuitive? First, what I look for is fluidity in the eyes and the eye contact. Where sensors are very strong eye contact, where sensors are very much attentive, concentrated, and engaged, like on, charged up, ready to go. Intuitives have a fluidity, a dreaminess, glassiness to their eyes, and I feel that very strongly here. For Valentina, I would probably have guessed maybe INFP, but potentially also possibly ENFP or ESFP, maybe even ENFJ, because it's really, I could really say NF, but I couldn't say anything else with very strong certainty here. And that's okay. Like sometimes you don't have full certainty in everything, and then you have to actually look through things more and look through things more deeply, or take more time. And we have Alejandra. And Alejandra also agreed to show their picture on stream. Oh, that's nice. That's great that you're all doing this, by the way. And here we get an Instagram. That's cool. I like Instagrams. Here I would be able to almost immediately guess INFP. But it's not a lot of pictures. Let me see if you had anything else up. No, nothing else. I would guess INFP, but it's not a good picture. It's a lower quality picture, so it's really hard to get the strong grasp. And it's also not one where a lot is happening. So that can also make it more difficult. Hans Olsen. Don't know why the Facebook looks so weird here, or why the profile looks so different. I actually got a friend request here. Why is that? Hey, let's become friends. This is also a very difficult picture to tell. Sorry, I'm gonna pass on this one. Rayan says, you're right, I am INFP. Oh, that's great. Yes, so maybe there's some truth to this. Maybe this actually works. Maybe you can actually guess a person's personality type based on just pictures like this. But let me say, like, always be very careful. It can take a long time to spot these things, and it might not always be easy to spot in every person, but always be humble, always be modest, that you could be wrong. You could be wrong. Do we have anybody else? Yes, we have Miguel. This is Miguel. Miguel, Uh, I'm sorry, but I can't make anything with this profile. I have no idea what I just saw. I have no idea what I just watched. Okay, maybe Clarissa. Clarissa, please. You have a normal profile, right? Okay, looks promising. Oh, these are great pictures, actually. What would I say here? Probably INFP again. God damn it. We need some non-INFPs here. Okay, I'm gonna start rounding up. Sorry, I can't type Justin. That's not a valid Facebook link. That's profile.php. I can't find that. Sorry. Nicole. Nicole had one picture of herself that she added that you can show. See. This is Nicole. Hi, Nicole. Mm, great picture, by the way. Very high quality, very good expressions. Like you show a lot. And what I would say with the introverted feeling expression is it often starts in the bottom of the face. Introverted expressions often go from the bottom up. Extroverted expressions usually start in the top and then go down. So you get this versus okay, that sounds weird, but you get the point. The point is the expressions, the smiles, they start in the chin muscles and leak up. They leak up from the cheeks into the eyes, especially when they are expressing themselves or something. Here again, once again, another INFP. Maybe this is a good time to start taking a break. I wish I could type the dog as well, but I haven't been able to do that. I think you'll also notice that there are some types that are easier for you to type than others. Like for me, it's very easy to type usually INFPs and ENTPs and NPs. Not INTPs necessarily, because INTPs don't have a lot of expressions. Usually what tends to happen is if a person doesn't give me any expressions at all and I don't know, then it's like probably INTP. INTPs have this strong poker face. They can have really strong poker face. So this works as long as they are INXP. My dog is ENFP. Oh, that's nice. What type is my cat? What type is Marvel? I think I would say INTJ, but I think people say that all the time about their cats. Maybe I would otherwise say INFP. So do we have any ending thoughts on free typing? Sorry if I can't do everybody. That's cool, Leandra, that you're an INTP. Like I said, if anybody wants to get the deeper typing, feel free to make a one-time or a monthly subscription to patreon.com/Erik Thor. If you if you pledge more than $10, I can look at your video and I can give you some base ideas and try to help you. If you pay 50, I can do some coaching. We can talk for half an hour, maybe see if we can learn something together. If you do 20, you can send a video to me and we can you can ask a question or make a request for a video or for whatever you like. No, you can't tell a type just by pictures. I say body language is about 50%, and what they actually say matters so much. So you have to really sit down and talk to a person to truly know their type. And honestly, it's also that speed typing can be very, very shallow. Like you can learn some things from speed typing, but it's very shallow because I can tell you what the type of person is, but I still don't know about their development, their uh, personal needs, their growth level, where they're at in life, what they're going through. There are still so many things that I still need to know to actually truly know a person. So I don't think it's enough. I think you need more. But what I'm trying to tell you with this video is look at multiple levels, look at both the person's expressions and their body language and their behavior and what they value and what they say they value and what they're interested in and what they enjoy doing, and look at it together. So when a person is talking about something, what do they like? What do they enjoy? Some people don't know how to smile. That's for some people that's very difficult. Anyways, thanks for joining today's live stream. I was actually a bit tired today. Worked all day and then I got so many calls and customer service. I just got calls. A whole day I just got calls. And I had so many messages and emails. It's just new emails all the time. So I barely had a break. And then I got home late and then I had to make dinner. Yeah, so quite tired. Maybe we should do this another time though. There were so many people that still have videos and I couldn't look at everybody. And yeah, this was really fun. Another time it would be much easier to do it through videos. So if people could post like Instagram live videos like Lucinda suggests here, or YouTube, or something like that, that could also be really cool. Yeah. I don't have a call actually, luckily, hopefully. I'm gonna kill you for making me smile. Oh no, that's terrible. I know some people like that. Oh yeah, also join the after talk discussion on Discord. And yeah, leave a like, share, and subscribe if you like this video. Yeah, thanks for joining up, and I hope to see you all in the next video.